Estimating a population mean. Point estimate. A point estimate of a parameter is the value of a statistic used to estimate the parameter. The sample mean, x bar, is the point estimate for the population mean, mu. The sample standard deviation, s, is the point estimate for the population standard deviation, sigma. Example: find a point estimate for the population mean, that is, the mean of the variable. A simple random sample is taken from a population and yields the following data for a variable of the population. My data set is 12, 32, 34, 31, 21, 27, 7, 17, 19, and 30. I want to find the sample mean going to our calculator. So we're going to go to Stat, Edit, Enter, and type our data in L1. 12, enter, 32, enter, 34, enter, 31, enter, 21, enter, 27, enter, 7, enter, 17, enter, 19, enter, 30, enter. I'm ready to calculate. Stat, over to Calc, one variable statistics, enter. I can either press enter again, since the default is L1, or press second, 1 to type in L1, then press enter. The sample mean is 23. A point estimate for the population mean is 23. Example: find a point estimate for the population standard deviation, that is the standard deviation of the variable. A simple random sample is taken from a population and yields the following data for a variable of the population. My data set is 10, 33, 35, 37, 17, 21, 8, 14, 18, 29. I want to find the sample standard deviation. Going to my calculator, Stat, 1 edit, enter, and I'm going to type in L1, 10, enter, 33, enter, 35, enter, 37, enter, 17, enter, 21, enter, 8, enter, 14, enter, 18, enter, and 29, enter. I'm ready to calculate. Stat, over to Calc, one var stats. I want L1 for my list, the frequency list to be blank. Calculate, enter, and I want the sample standard deviation. So S equals 10.59. A point estimate for the population standard deviation is 10.59. Confidence interval estimate. Confidence interval, or CI, an interval of numbers obtained from a point estimate of a parameter. Confidence level, the confidence we have that the parameter lies in the confidence interval, i.e., that the confidence interval contains the parameter. Confidence interval estimate, the confidence level and the confidence interval. For an example, I have this number line. It's labeled 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have a red dot at 12, and that is my point estimate, or the mean of the data set. Then I have a line from 10 to 14, and that is the confidence interval. Margin of error. Margin of error indicates how accurate the guess is as an estimate for the value of the unknown parameter. Confidence interval equals point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. Using our number line from earlier, I can find my margin of error by taking the point estimate and subtracting the lower limit. 12 take away 10 is 2. Or I can find my margin of error by taking the upper limit and subtracting the point estimate. 14 minus 12 is 2. So my point estimate is 12 plus or minus a margin of error of 2. Example. For the provided sample mean, sample size, and population standard deviation, find a 95% confidence interval for the population mean. We have a sample mean of 20, a sample size of 64, and a standard deviation of 3. To do this, we want to start with the point estimate. The point estimate for our mean is x bar equals 20. To find the point estimate for our standard deviation, we want to use the formula S equals the population standard deviation divided by the sample size. 3 divided by the square root of 64 equals 0.375. Next, we want to use the empirical rule so we can find the 95% confidence interval. For our empirical rule, the 95% confidence interval is within 2 standard deviations of the mean. So now I can find my lower limit and my upper limit by using the sample mean minus 2 times the standard deviation and the sample mean plus 2 times the standard deviation. Substituting into the formula for the lower limit, 20 minus 2 times 0.375 equals 19.25. Substituting into the formula for the upper limit, 20 plus 2 times 0.375 equals 20.75. The 95% confidence interval is from 19.25 to 20.75. Next in our example, we want to identify and interpret the margin of error. So I have my information from earlier that x bar equals 20, n equals 64, sigma equals 3, and the 95% confidence interval is from 19.25 to 20.75. We are going to use the margin of error equals upper limit minus point estimate, which is 20.75 minus 20, which gives us 0.75. To interpret, we can be 95% confident that the population mean mu is within the margin of error of the sample mean 20. Continuing with our example, we want to express the endpoints of the confidence interval in terms of the point estimate and margin of error. To find the confidence interval, it equals the point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. The 95% confidence interval is 20 plus or minus 0.75. Recapping, estimating a population mean. Our point estimate for our population mean is our sample mean, and for the population standard deviation is the sample standard deviation. Confidence interval estimate. Confidence interval estimate is the confidence level and the confidence interval.